Well, you and Willie Nelson are listening to the Chris or Jenny Show featuring Deej, that's me, on WCOMLP, Chapel Hill and Carborough. Oh, that was hot. Good evening, hot friends and the less attractive friends who are hot on the inside.
I think we made the right choice with our
Ding-a-ling.
with our opening song.
Yeah, that was jaunty.
Let's see who this is.
Yeah, what's going on?
You're feeling that opening song, Deej?
Yeah, it got the pelvis thrusting.
Hold on one second, Deej.
All right,
WCOM.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Joe Hauser.
Commissioner. Oh,
Hot out of the gate, Deej.
a sight for sore ears.
What's up, Commish?
I've been following the meteoric rise of the Chris or Jenny show featuring Deej from the West Coast, and I'm absolutely floored by your worldwide successes, and I'm clamoring to be a part of it.
Our successes are interplanetary, please.
I'm not trying to sell anybody short, believe me.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in. Let's just get right to it. Deej, he's heading back to a place. Remember how remote we thought Dead Horse was?
Is that not the most remote place?
Joe, tell Deej where you're going now.
Next month, I'm heading to Great Sitkin Island, an uninhabited island in the Aleutian Chains, about 25 miles east of Adak Island, if you need a reference point.
Okay, but when you're there, it'll be inhabited, right?
Only when he's there, though.
That's true. It becomes inhabited. And I shouldn't say uninhabited, because there's probably plenty of birds and Norway rats and other species that inhabit the island. It's uninhabited by humans.
Okay, fair enough.
Not normally.
Deej,
Polar bears.
this place that he's going now makes Dead Horse look like Chicago, basically.
Wow.
That's what I'm telling you.
Makes it look like downtown Carborough on a non-COVID Friday night. You know, speaking of remote places, I believe Michael Collins, the astronaut on the Apollo mission, passed away this week.
Oh, rest in peace, Michael Collins.
How would you like to be that guy, though? You go all the way to the moon, and you don't get to walk on the moon.
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
So three guys went up, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins, right?
Oh, right.
And Michael Collins had to stay in the frickin' ship and watch Neil and Buzz play golf and bounce around on the moon.
Oh, man. He did all the work that those guys did, and those guys are like heroes and household names, and no one's ever heard of that dude.
Yeah, you were like, who? I'm like one of the first three people to go to the moon.
Oh, you mean Buzz Aldrin?
No.
Oh.
Neil Armstrong?
Joe, what's the real life equivalent of being a Michael Collins?
Getting that close to your dreams, but not being able to touch them. God, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Is it like driving by
maybe,
Dead Horse, Alaska, not getting to go into the gift shop?
I think my trip to Dead Horse would have been better had I not visited the gift shop.
Oh,
right.
Well, hey, it worked out
It's
for me.
also a
Thanks
hardware
again for
store.
that shirt. I wear it a lot, actually.
Did you hear that, Dee? She said it's also a hardware store.
Oh.
What is
Yeah.
it also the post office?
Yes, it was also a post office. Yes, but it wasn't open. Might be the only post office that's open on Sundays, though, in the United States. Post office open Sundays, regular Sunday hours there. You wouldn't think, but
Let's say hello to our friends in Dead Horse.
Hey, the Dead Horse?
Yeah, they don't have a right. What's their name? Jerry Seinfeld does a funny bit about, you were just talking about being the one astronaut that nobody knows. He does this hilarious bit about like runners, the world champion runner, that household name, everybody loves him, and then the guy in second is like, like an eighth of a second behind.
Yeah.
Best runner in the world, and then he puts his head back 2 inches. Never heard of the guy. It's really funny.
Yeah. It's crazy how close you can be to fleeting fame. Think about like who's the best skateboarder
All time?
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
I would say
Okay.
Tony Hawk. Yeah.
Now, name literally one other skateboarder
Yeah,
besides
yeah.
Tony Hawk.
Who's the third best skateboarder?
The guys from Jackass, Bam Margera.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
That's. I
There's
think
a-
Travis Pastrana, was he a skateboarder?
Sure.
I thought he was in Blink 182.
Oh, yeah,
And that sounds like a sandwich.
yeah. I think they have that at the deli in Cary.
He was either a skateboarder, a musician, or a sandwich.
I think most
of the
people
three.
are all three at some point in their lives.
I know how much you appreciate the humor and the mind of DJ Simons. So he just handed me our Fighting Squids T-shirts for our softball team. And it's a beautiful design, and he's kind of evolved it over the years. But I'll put a picture of this on the Facebook page. So it's a squid, of course, holding a baseball, a bat, wearing a glove, and I believe that's COVID right
It's a little coronavirus, yeah. So the plan is I'm only going to have the COVID just for the people who played this spring 2021 season, and then I'll remove the icon forever thereafter.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
just kind of like I was there.
It's a special moment in time.
It's limited edition. It's called
SQUIDS. Let's go squid.
Yeah.
Is it squids or squid?
the Fightin' Squids.
Fightin'
Fightin' with an
Squids.
apostrophe, no G. Fightin' Squids.
Fighting squid. May you emerge victorious, much like I plan to emerge victorious in the hotly contested Burien Citizen of the Year.
Any updates?
Oh, yeah. Any updates, Joe? I know the deadline's coming up pretty soon here.
I think today is the deadline, and it's 7:09 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so the ballot box is officially closed.
Have you heard from Adrian, Joe?
Surprisingly, no. I would have thought my inbox would be blowing up, but no one's contacted me to kind of like give me the pre-notification or anything like that. So that's kind of a bummer.
We should call Adrian sometime soon.
Maybe we'll line her up for the next show.
Yeah.
I don't think we can call her tonight.
No? Okay.
Maybe she's working late. You never know.
Hey, there's a lot of Citizen of the Year applications to throw out.
As
now
much
that
as I'm
yours
happy to
is
hear from Commissioner
submitted.
Joe Hauser, we do have an actual guest coming on the show.
Fine.
All right.
Sorry,
well,
Joe.
I'm just trying to hitch my star onto the meteoric rise of the Chris Orgeni show featuring Deej, and I thank you for having me on, guys.
We don't have to bail quite yet. I'm just saying we don't have time for a third call with Adrian. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Okay,
Commish,
all right.
speaking of softball, I remember you used to play in a wiffle ball league. Are those days behind you?
I was a member of the Atlanta-based Wiffle Dixie Wiffle Ball League, Adult Wiffle Ball League.
Whifflin' Dixie.
On a team. Our team was called the Belgian Wiffles.
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name.
Other teams in the league included Wiffle House, and it was all about puns. I won Best Hitter Award in the league in 2007.
Wow.
That's
And
legit.
since that year, I think 2010 was the last year that I participated in wiffle ball, and I had a very poor showing. It was a steady decline from that award year to batting average of nearly zero by the end. It was really pathetic.
It is really hard to hit wiffle ball.
It is hard to hit a wiffle ball.
I can pitch wiffle ball pretty well, but I can't hit it to save my life. Like I would whiff and whiff and whiff and whiff.
Hence the name.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, Joe. Did you have to use that super thin yellow bat or that super fat red bat or something in between the two?
The super thin yellow bat is the official bat
Yeah.
of wiffle ball leagues everywhere, and the ball with little holes on only one side of it
Yeah.
to make it easier to throw a curve. So yeah, that's what we use, the thin yellow bat.
And the small ball, right? The baseball sized one, not the softball sized one.
Yes, it was baseball size. Half of it was perforated.
Yeah. Those things are nuts because you can use the holes to throw any kind of pitch you can think of. You can throw a sinker, a riser, a curveball, a slider, a screwball.
No matter the pitch, I guarantee you I swung and missed at it at least once.
What happened in 07 to give you such a good batting? Did you just capture lightning in a bottle that year? Or?
I was known that year as Shoeless Joe Hauser, and I played the entire season without wearing any shoes. And an homage to my father, Bud Hauser, who also will frequently go completely shoeless and sockless. I think that may have been, it was between that, the notoriety of it, all that kind of combined to make me catch lightning in a bottle.
No.
And, I'll use the word dominate that league in 2007. There's no other way to say it.
Was this included on your Citizen of the Year application?
Oh, my gosh. Deej, get Adrian on the phone.
Oh, man.
I've got to get this in.
If you had thought of this like 2 hours ago, you could have amended my application, but I'm afraid
Is it in the
this
can?
will not be. No, this evidence will not be omitted, but we can keep it in our back pocket for a possible 2022 reboot if we need to.
We need to do a Mission Impossible style thing. I need to sneak into Adrian's office.
Yeah. Joe, can you get yourself into the Burien offices tonight?
And I could walk into City Hall right now and say I'm on official planning commission business. They'd let me in.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Oh, I love it.
We're trying to get planning commissioner ID cards and badges made, but we haven't quite got the city to spring for that yet. But I do feel it's a justified expense.
Not in the budget, you're saying?
Sadly, no.
Joe, we are very happy to hear from you, but we do have to bail. I apologize. You mentioned Bud Hauser earlier. He's booked on this show in July.
Wow, that's going to be one that folks won't want to miss.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss that episode. Joe was kind enough, Deej, to give me the code for the Electric Six online show. The Mood is Improving.
Okay.
And thank you for that, Joe. And I did watch it. And if I close my eyes, it almost felt normal. But what we've been saying this entire time, it does not substitute the live show. But it was cool to watch it.
Yeah, I'm glad they're back together and playing shows. I mean, obviously nobody wants it to be online, but it's a step in the right direction. Oh, hey Joe, kind of funny coincidence here. So Electric Six lead singer Dick Valentine, not his proper Christian name. His real name is Tyler Spencer. I have two new softball teammates, a married couple, a man and a woman named Tyler and Spencer.
Nice. I think we just lost Joe.
No.
Joe, I apologize. We lost you.
He had a good run.
Yeah, he had a good run. I'll overdub his voice saying something later, like, "Oh, thanks, guys, that's hilarious," or
What are the odds?
Joe, oh, good one, Joe. I'll dub
Joe.
something in later. Oh, classic commish.
Joltin' Joe Hauser, everybody.
Thank you for the call, Commissioner Hauser. Let's get to an actual guest.
All right, yeah.
Aristotle Jones.
A real guest.
I love the song, D. See what you think.
All right.
My mind gets tired sometimes. Sometimes my body gets weak. And the demons that I fight, oh, they start to conquer me. And I say, oh, my soul, I pray that rock and roll will be my savior. Oh, and I'm just
Yeah.
I love that tune.
Welcome back, Aristotle.
Woo, he's back.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you guys are having me back. It's a good time, man.
I love that song, Aristotle. You got a lot of good tunes, but I think Bad Behavior might be my favorite song of yours.
Oh, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you, man. You got great taste, too.
How are things in Morgantown?
Man, I tell you what, things are starting to kind of, like, come alive, man. Getting out. We have live festivals coming up. I got a pretty busy schedule. It's been interesting because, like, different bands aren't ready to go. It's kind of like a free-for-all. It's Mad Max in the game these days.
You're saying different bands aren't ready to go? Like the festival's ready to have them, and they're just not ready to perform because
They're just not ready to go. It happened a little bit faster than some of the bands, but people have changed their mind, too. When you haven't played with groups for like a year, you got to knock a lot of rust off. So luckily, I had some shows back in October and November, so I kind of caught the wind of things, and I got the band and started practicing back in February.
Nice.
I thought, you know, man, when this happens, I want to be ready. So, like, we've been lucky to have a few gigs here recently. It's been nice.
That might create an opportunity for you to get maybe a bigger gig than you normally would or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
You know, when you do the work, you kind of get the result. And having that time off, probably since the last time I talked to you, you know, even in my mind, like, I really, like, solidified a lot of the projects and kind of decided what I wanted to do as a artist. And then really re-releasing the art. And it just kind of happened at a good time right around March where people were ready to have a positive outlook versus, like, last March when it was definitely, like, the complete opposite feeling. So it was weird. We played a show out in front of the courthouse downtown in Morgantown. They did the Morgantown Arts Walk.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know, where artists come and they set up little booths and you can buy direct from the artist, you know?
That's cool.
And they have musicians playing at different location on the block. And yeah, it was really interesting because when I got downtown to park, I was like, nah, man, I'll find parking. And it's been like kind of a ghost town for like a year, you know?
Yeah.
And then I got down there and I was like, whoa, man, there's no place to park. And then all of a sudden I saw these people and it was like, whoa, this is like happening. Like people were ready to come out and interact. You know, really they just did such a great job with vaccinations up here. If you want one, you can just go get one. So now we're just kind of dealing with people that are waiting to see what's going to happen to the people that got it. But, man, you know, I feel so much better about going out and performing. And just because, like, one, I didn't want to, like, spread COVID to anyone by performing. One, I thought that would be awful. What an awful way to experience one of a live music show, you know?
Right.
And then, but I was also protection for myself and my family. I just wanted to give a big shout-out to all the healthcare workers and all of the frontline people that have put in all this effort because, like, the day that there was live music back in West Virginia was, like, it really meant a lot because, like, it was honestly like a year where we couldn't perform and people were kind of scared to even get together. So, like, I'm happy to be playing with the guys again, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, Aristotle, there's an old expression, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
That makes me think all the musicians who could not rehearse with their band for a whole year, there's no way that you can rehearse online. Just the latency, you got to be right there. The timing has to be precise and identical for everybody.
Right.
Do you think, is there any way, or maybe in the future, would there be a way to rehearse, to jam, play music with other people remotely? Or is the kind of thing that you will only ever be able to do live and in person?
I'll leave that up to the tech people.
Yeah.
Because I know that they're working on it. And it's like this. I recently heard a story on NPR where Google wanted fresh fish at their campus.
Okay.
So they couldn't get fresh fish at their campus because they were too far inland.
Yeah.
So they devoted enough money to figure out a brand new freezing technology.
Oh my goodness.
To flash freeze fish so that they could get it to come to their campus and be fresher when they got it there. So if they can do that, then I'm sure like they can solve this problem of musicians being able to work better remotely. I did have a studio with my buddy Cody Barcroft, excellent bass player. I was like, I got these new songs that I'm going to be recording and releasing later on. Like, I have some of them that are coming out beginning of June and every 2 months throughout the rest of the year.
Nice.
And possibly in perpetuity, I'm going to be releasing new music. So,
oh, that's excellent. That's good.
Like, yeah, we were like, well, how are we going to get in the studio and do this? And I said, well, man, you can quarantine and come down here. We can, like, do a bubble
down here, and then we'll go in the studio for the weekend. And he lives in Buffalo, New York, and New York was a whole different ball game, you know.
Right.
And so he came down to Morgantown at the beginning of February, and we spent 3 days in the studio. But in order to get him the tracks, we had to really just kind of create the Dropbox and the Google Drive folders, and we put all that information in there. And then we would do like the Zoom calls and talk about the music and talk about the feeling. But really, it came down to once he got here, we spent about 8 hours running through all the songs so we get the feel for it. So I don't think there's really any replacement for like the live experience. But you can do a lot of communication virtually, you know?
Yeah, but to DJ's point, a lot of things are getting figured out in this world right now. We can put an order for groceries and it be in my house in an hour. Yeah. That's happening right now.
Yeah.
So I think if ever there was a time to figure out the latency issue or whatever it is to keep you from jamming in person, now's the time to figure it out.
You know, I think virtual reality is going to be the thing that really does it. It's, what's hard is like playing your own instrument, you know, because it's the interface.
Yeah.
That's really the thing, you know. It's not being able to be in the shared mental space. We have that. With music, you have to perceive what you're creating and listen to what they're doing. So if it's off just a fraction of a second, my drummer, David Haley, he's a real smart guy, and he's in the tech. And he, what he does is he had this, I forgot what the program was, but the way they would do it is you would jam on a riff, and then the next guy would get that, and he would jam on that riff, and then everybody would just jam on it, and it would be kind of in real time. It would be about 4 bars behind. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't, like, do it. So, like, there are programs out there that they're working on, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next, 6 or 8 months, Google or Amazon or one of those cats have like some type of subscription-based service for musicians to start working out of. Adobe has like their, they can make money off of it. That's the thing. Because of the pandemic, people have gotten used to working with people that live all over the world.
That's right. Yeah.
Your mindsets have changed. So, like, am I going to stop working with somebody that lives across the country just because, like, I'm performing locally? I was like, no, man, I can still make music. We can write music. We write great music. So, just like we're on the phone right now, man.
Yeah.
You're in North Carolina.
The Appalachian Soul Man. So you're putting out new music. Yeah. You're going to put out a song every other month. And we want to play them on
2 songs. You get 2 songs.
Nice.
See, man, like I like to think of it as like double singles.
Nice.
It's an interactive release where the listeners and my fans will get to vote on, like, I have extra content that I'll release for whichever song they think is the most popular.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And so, like, we have 2 songs coming out in June, Ready and Too Cool. And I'm just curious to see which one people like more. And it's been really fun making the music. After last year, I did a lot of porch picking. So, like, now it's good to kind of put it out there, like, cast a net and see what happens.
It's interesting you mentioned that you're releasing 2 songs at a time.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
It's like, when I was a kid, like, I could name every Beatles album or every AC/DC album, but it seems like in the current landscape of the music industry, the concept of releasing an album is kind of going the way of the dodo bird. Are you finding that you aren't really writing with an album in mind as much as just kind of trying to get in the singles out, or you try to strike a balance, or how do you perceive that change?
No. Well, so this is my air album. I write elemental albums.
Okay.
Or like I like to go back to the Aristotelian elements, or I'm a big fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know if you guys know what like Aang but they have like air, water, earth, fire as your element. So each one of my albums that I've put out kind of over the course of my musical career, I've had like an elemental thing. And this one is kind of like my air album. As a singer, I kind of consider myself like an airbender. I'm moving air as a musician to create a result. So when I was writing this album, like it's an album, but I'm just going to be releasing it in 4 parts. And mostly because I want people to listen to it. In the past, when I've released the album as an album, here's 12 songs, you might get 1 song that people will listen to. Mm-hmm. If I give you 2 songs, I think you'll listen to 2 songs pretty confidently. Yeah. I did write an album, so you'll move through a progression for the pretty much through the last release of this will be in October, so that'll be the 4th part of it.
I love playing your songs on my show, so anytime you want us to play your songs, you let me know, man. We'll put them out there.
Oh, for sure. And I've actually taken a cue from you.
From me?
What? On, like, when I was on your show and you were playing my songs, I was like, man, that's really cool. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, I have this little radio show. It's really fun, and I'm excited to do it. And like, man, I just want to like play you in front of the people that are here, because I know if they hear you, then they'll love you.
That's right.
And then I got to thinking after you said that, and after I was on your show, I was like, that's such a great mindset. So it inspired me to go to pitch my bosses at the radio station I work at. I was like, you know what? We keep telling the fans in the community that these people are playing places, but they've never heard any of this music that they've ever played. So I was like, you know, like, we should play their music. And I have a perfect show, and I was like, guess what it's called? Sounds Good to Me. And they couldn't even turn it down, because it was like, I mean, like, what are you going to turn down something that says sounds good to me? You know, so I made a pilot show that was what I was thinking, but I mean, you encouraged me so much by like the support you've given me, and I really appreciate you. You've helped me to like create a platform, and just in mentality wise, for the regional artists that have ties to West Virginia, because I think, man, I call it hyping the homies. So you do a good job of hyping the homies.
I like it. I got to tell you, though, Deej and I both, when you just said that, no one's ever taken a hint from us. So this is the first time this has ever happened. We've never done anything.
You're planting the seeds, man.
Whatever the opposite of that is, that's kind of our specialty.
But I got to tell you, Aristotle, right, I'd so much rather play. And listen, this is due respect. I love Pearl Jam. I love whoever, Metallica. But I'd rather play Aristotle Jones than Pearl Jam any day of the week. That's just what my show's about. So, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I love Pearl Jam too, man. That's an honor. Thank you so much.
I've always thought of you as a front man. You're the guy whose name is on the marquee. You're a front man. We talked about that on the last episode. But let me ask you this, Aristotle. What band out there today, who could call you right now and say, drop everything you're doing, we want you to come open for us? Who would be like exciting and intriguing for you to be an opener for, like for the next year or two?
Man, have you seen Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, and Anderson .Paak, like their band there, when they're super band?
I know Bruno Mars.
I would do anything.
I know Bruno Mars.
Oh, man, you got to check out Silk Sonic. Leave the door open. Oh, man, Anderson .Paak, they're both gold muses of mine. I am so proud of them and everything that they're doing. I think they're just pushing the envelope and really like playing music. Anderson .Paak he plays drums.
Yeah.
And he fronts. And it's like a hip hop rock
Phil
group.
Collins.
Man. So good, super talented. And Bruno, and when they got together and they just released a song back in February, and it's just, man, it's melted velvet. I can't ever explain it, and that's how good it is. But man, if they were like, "Hey man, we just want you to play tambourine in this band," I'd be like, "Yes,
You're
okay,
in.
Aristotle Jones, goodbye. Here I am.
All right.
Whatever you got, man.
Okay, hold on.
Check it out.
DJ's texting them right now. DJ, get Silk Sonic on the phone. Let's go. Come on. We got to get him.
Get it happening.
What you do, I can think of 15 different genres even I think that you could open for. I don't think of you as an opener, but like, I mean, back to Pearl. If I went to Pearl Jam and you were the opener, I'd be happy. Who was I thinking about earlier?
We played a festival this past weekend. It was a small little, kind of like, can there be a festival? And it was really weird because we were looking around, and you know, it's still kind of. I consider every time I do something out in public, I'm like a tourist.
Yeah.
Just kind of like staring at people like, ooh.
Everyone's like,
and
are we really here doing this? Yeah.
Yeah, for real. It's like, are we allowed to do this?
Yeah.
They had bracelets that they would give you, and when you went in, if you had green on, that meant you were close. You were okay with close contact. If it was yellow, you know, socially distanced. Red, you're like, just don't even, like, where'd you get a red banana? That kind of thing.
That's a lot.
Stay away from me.
That's a lot.
We got there, and of course, you know, we're backstage hanging out with the other musicians and kind of touching base because nobody's really done any gigs. So we get on stage, and we're the first full band. And everybody kept going, "Oh, man, we just like the style in your message." And I go, "Well, I'm not even sure what you're talking about. I just get up there and do my thing. I'm just playing music and really enjoying what I do." I get, like, my music has a style, and right now I'm trying to create a feeling of positivity. I think going around and spreading love is an important thing to do. I think we've all been kind of wounded. But I just enjoy that fact that I can play in lots of different, we'll run a lot of different types of bands, and it's a great chance to network, and I learned so much, man. It's been a lot of fun.
You would fit in on a lot of bills, in my opinion.
Back to the Red Banana. Was that a Mitch Hedberg reference?
That was a Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, that is one of my favorite bits.
Would you say red banana?
A banana is like the opposite of a traffic light. Green means
like
slow down. Yellow means go ahead. Red means where did you get that banana at? Yeah,
Rest
man,
in
he is
peace,
so
Mitch.
Yeah,
funny.
hey, Mitch Hedberg, man, much respect for that dude. That's half of my bit on stage is like me trying to like bring out a little Mitch Hedberg in my life.
Oh
And I was like,
man.
no. I had to start saying serious stuff. So
Yeah.
like, it was just
Oh.
Challenge to our listeners. Watch a Mitch Hedberg special and then try to not talk like him for 3 days.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I used to like try to hit on girls and go like I highlighted certain parts of my hair. They would look at my head, and obviously I had like a fade, like a real tight fade. I obviously didn't, but it was just like I'd be like, I thought certain strands were more important than it. They wouldn't get it. They would like,
Oh.
Hey, if he can help you
Good.
get some ladies from beyond the grave, I'm sure he would love to know
Yes.
that he can do that.
I saw him live once in Columbus, and he was on the side of the stage. It was him and David Tell and I think
Ooh.
Lewis Black.
Wow, that's
a good
all-stars.
lineup.
And yeah, it was really good. Mitch opened, and then David Tell came out. Mitch was on the side of the stage watching him, and he was like hitting the bowl, like he was like toking up.
Yeah.
And then Dave brought him out on stage, and it was hilarious. It was like, oh, man.
Was it at the Newport?
Yeah, I think that's where it was.
Yeah.
Newport? Yeah. That's a good venue.
I first performed in public at the Newport.
Really?
So it has a special
Oh, really?
place in my heart. Yeah.
That's awesome, Deej. That's a good stage.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It was at a college battle of the bands, so it wasn't like
That's killer.
we weren't showcased. But
Don't-
yeah,
don't
it was
minimize
so cool to
it.
play there.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, man, you're doing it.
That's one of my favorite venues.
You know, man, like nothing. You know, man, like I got in the habit of trying to think this gig isn't that because it's not like the Super Bowl. But you know what, man, last year in the pandemic has really got. I mean, I just enjoy. I played this little picnic the other day, and my aunt. It was for a favor, and she goes, "Well, you should put a tip jar out there, and people will tip you." And I was like, "Well, you know, I just want to do it for fun, you know."
Yeah.
And I opened up my case, man. I left out there. I got paid so good, man.
Nice.
They paid me.
Yeah.
Here's who I was trying to think of earlier. I could see Aristotle Jones opening for Dave Matthews Band. That,
Oh, yeah.
To me, that would be a killer
I
line.
actually started indirectly playing guitar because of Dave Matthews. It was a
Nice.
girl, and she really liked Dave Matthews. I was gonna be like a hip hop dude, you know, or an R&B. I was like, I like Boys and Men and Silk and Shy and all that really rich harmony. And she dumped me, and I was like, what? And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a better guitar player than Dave Matthews. So Dave, I'm
Nice.
still coming for you, buddy.
Watch out, Dave.
I am a man torn apart by things unseen. I had a plan that just would not work out for me.
Tell Me, Deej, by Aristotle Jones.
Mm.
That's a good jam. Your boy Loren, my brother Loren, Aristotle's old
Yes.
bandmate, he just bought his first house today.
Wow. Big
Well,
time.
man, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's been working.
Everybody's growing up.
No.
So he's excited about that. So I'm happy for my bud.
Yeah, way to go, dude. That's great. I loved it. Like, that's when you played Tell Me there. I was just like, man, you know, like, we've definitely come a long way in our lives since, you know, I remember the kind of houses we would live in back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was, he lived over top of a little bar.
Oh,
that was-
Sharkies
it
in
was
Huntington.
awesome. Yeah, Sharky.
He's had some doozies, man. He's had some rough. I have too. Actually, we had a guest on here not too long ago, Will Overman, and he had a song called "Bad Apartment," and we could all relate. We could all relate to the bad apartment.
I've had a couple of
Oh, for
those.
sure, man. I'm really happy to hear that.
He said he wants to produce you, man. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's ready to produce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to work with him anytime, man. Like, it would be my pleasure.
He was telling me something like he thought that you'd be able to get like a sponsorship from Epiphone.
I think I'm ready for that, man. Like,
What does that mean?
well, he was trying to give me some tidbits on how to make that happen, and you know, at the time I wasn't quite ready to receive that knowledge. But man, I like the reminder because it's time to get on that. I'm ready to make that happen.
I tell you what, that photo of you, you know, I don't want to sound goofy here or anything, but it is you look tight, man. That picture of you
Thanks.
with your Epiphone, the one that you just put out. I mean, you're
Yeah.
It's what am I trying to say? Photogenic or something?
I should send it to him. You should send it to him. You can suggest that I get the sponsorship, man. You can get whatever they get. If you can get me a sponsorship, man, we'll work out a deal that takes care of you too.
All right, Deej.
Maybe we'll give them it could be the Chris or Jenny show with sponsored by Epiphone.
As soon as this show's over, we're calling Silk Sonic first, and then we're calling Epiphone.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aristotle, once I get DJ Simons on the case, it happens, man.
Yep.
I believe in you guys. I 100% believe in you.
You've been in Morgantown for a while. It seems like you've got a great thing going in Morgantown. Tell me about your normal radio job. I know you described a show a little bit earlier. Sounds
well,
good
man,
to me.
what I do during what I do during the day.
Yeah,
is
that's what I want to know.
I am I do a radio on air show, but that's like me being Superman. My mild mannered day job. I'm the creative services director, which has been actually a very, very important job right now because the branding of businesses has changed so much over the course of the last 14 months since the pandemic started.
For sure.
You know, because it went from, okay, we're all sad. Then it was, okay, we can do this. Then it was, okay, you're on your own. Then it was like, party! And then it was, oh no, we partied too much. Then it was like, I hope this works out. And now it's like, well, I don't feel so bad about this. You guys ready? And it's like you got to figure out how to ride the just the feeling of the world of everybody to try to help the businesses because the restaurants took such a huge hit.
Yeah.
And being in radio, that was a big part of our revenue stream.
For
so,
sure.
A lot of the radio jobs were in peril. It was kind of like an interesting, tertiary response because once the restaurants went down and the bars, and there weren't any events, and then the car dealers they started to run out of inventory, so they didn't really have stuff to advertise. Then the home builders were running out of houses, so all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't know how this is all going to pan out at the end of it all, but at the radio station, it's been able to come through, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself living in Morgantown just forever? I mean, is that your forever home?
Man, as I grow, I'm open-minded to opportunities, man. I think right now, because of the way that there is a global presence online, you can kind of be, as long as you're willing to go to where the work is when you need to go.
Yeah.
I used to think about relocating to bigger places, and I imagine at certain times I'll have to be there. But also proximity is power. Whenever you're close to people that are making decisions that can affect your life, then there's a chance that your life can change quickly. So there is benefit. So right now, man, honestly, I'm just kind of enjoying being able to go out and socialize and not trying to think too far ahead anymore, trying to control it. I just want to make music and connect with fans and really see where that takes me.
You seem like you got a good thing going in Morgantown.
Oh, yeah.
As technology kind of creeps into all walks of life, it's kind of maybe moving away from playing instruments and more toward, programming electronic music. And as, kids kind of grow up only with computers, are they more likely to kind of turn to computers as opposed to buying an old school guitar? Do you think maybe music is moving from an art to a science? How do you see technology and the future of music kind of getting along?
That's an excellent question, man. That's a fun brain experiment. Well, I think about it like this. There's still classical music, There's still like African drum music, and there's electronic music, you know what I mean? Creativity doesn't really have bounds or limits or definition. You can be creative with whatever connects with you.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the songs that I'm working on, I wanted to make it more producer style versus like a band style. So you kind of explore different realms of making music with technology as you want to interact with it. But, I mean, I tell you where I think technology and music really has an interface that a lot of people don't really think of. Like, I spoke of VR, but I think in a virtual reality realm, like where you don't have to go to the concert. You can, just like NBA is using virtual reality for their, you can watch the games, like your courtside. I think it'll kind of be more like that, where you'll be able to have like a virtual reality experience.
That's wild.
With like a live concert from home. You have sound system, and they'll send you a good signal, and you'll pay for access to that. I think that's probably more of the realm versus like just what the audio production itself is. I think technology will advance, but that's really fun to think on.
Yeah, we could have a whole episode just talking about technology and music.
Yeah.
If Stevie Wonder were to just play piano versus like having a wall of synthesizers, would he have created good music? Yeah, he would have. He did, you know what I mean? Like before he had that, but when he had that, he started creating really awesome masterpieces with that. Like, it's just the same type of thing now. I just watched a masterclass with Timberland earlier this year in that masterclass.com series, and what they do is he showed his whole little process. And what was interesting, it was Timberland, the producer.
Like Timberland and Magoo?
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So not the shoes.
And he was talking, not the shoe. And his partners that he was working with were these two guys that were like in their 20s.
Oh, wow.
And those guys, their experience, the way he was making the beats was much more physical. Like he had like the beat pad and was banging it out and wasn't so adept with the technology. He knew what it was doing and could do it. But those guys were just like really doing most of their work on their computers.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm kind of jealous I'm optimistic to see where like whole generations of people that have been exposed to nothing but technology take music and art and how they integrate that into their life. I still think there's a place for physical presence. I think that's something that we've really understood recently. When you got kids begging to go to school, I think we really understand that there's a need for some amount of physical presence. But man, like shoot, having integrated reality experiences within that, I think that's dope with music. I'm ready for that.
Next level, man.
Any upcoming projects to talk about?
Yeah, tell us what's coming up.
Okay,
brother.
man. So here's what you get, man. If you go to AristotleJones.com and you go there right now, if you want to download my the single West Virginia Hills.
Oh, that's a good song.
And you can get that. That's for free for everybody right now.
That's a beautiful
song. And it's
song.
a theme song to my radio show and my podcast that'll be released next week for Sounds Good to Me with Aristotle Jones.
Nice.
That's awesome. You can literally do that right now. You can go and get that song if you want to hear it. It's awesome. It's all about this great state of West Virginia.
I can't wait to hear Sounds Good to Me, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun. You're going to discover a lot of great music on there. I'm so proud of the artists that are putting out the music because they were all sitting at home making music during the pandemic, and we're getting all this awesome pandemic music out.
Yeah.
And on May 29th, you'll get the first double singles release. So it's going to be Aristotle Jones Part 1. It's coming out May 29th. You'll be able to get that everywhere. So it's two songs, Too Cool and Ready. I want to know which one you guys think is the favorite. So.
We're all over it, brother, but we do got to run, Aristotle. Thanks for calling
all right,
in,
man. Thank you, guys.
Good
Have
to
a
hear.
fantastic night.
Yeah, good to
All
hear
right, you
your
too,
voice.
thanks.
Thank you to Joe Hauser for the call earlier. And Deej, thank you, brother.
Yes, thank you.
majestic and all grand, with the summits baked in glory, like in Prince Emmanuel's land. Is there anyone to steer why my heart will rapture fears as I stand once more with my loved ones in those West Virginia hills? Oh, the hills, oh, the hills, oh, those West Virginia hills. If I see a land I rode, still I think of my happy home as I stand once more with my loved ones in those West Virginia hills. Oh, the West Virginia hills, how my childhood days passed, and I made lots of memories that my whole lifetime will last. Many are futures bright, guided by the mother's skill, as I stand once more with my loved ones in those West Virginia hills. Oh, the hills, oh, the hills, oh, the West Virginia hills. If I see a land I rode, still I think of my happy home as I stand once more with my loved ones in those West Virginia hills. Virginia.